Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Pound and we are studying Chapter 7.3 on biomes from Purposeful Designs Life Science. Today we're going to take a look at Section 738 on oceans. So our objectives today will be to summarize the basic characteristics of the ocean biome, identify and describe 4 ocean zones, and describe the 3 groups of ocean organisms. So first of all, the ocean biome is the biome that covers the largest area. If we look at this picture of Earth from space, we notice that it's mostly blue because the oceans cover the largest area of the Earth. Now, even though we're including this as one biome, it's a very diverse biome because it is all over the Earth. Some basic characteristics of the oceans are they're salt water. So all of the water in the oceans is salt water because minerals are dissolved in the runoff that comes down the rivers and everything and concentrates in the oceans. There are tides. Tides are where the water is higher at times and lower at times, and so that has an effect on life in this biome. The oceans have a relatively stable temperature, which is good for life. There are differing amounts of sunlight and water pressure. As you go deeper in the ocean, there's less and less sunlight. And as you go deeper in the ocean, the water pressure gets higher because the water is like a blanket on top, and it gets thicker and it gets heavier. So that affects what can live in the oceans in different areas. And there are a lot of diverse organisms. In fact, the oceans are so vast, there are things in the oceans that we have not discovered yet, although the biodiversity is not as great as the rainforest. Now, it has habitats that are interconnected by currents. Currents are basically like rivers in the water, and there are streams of hot and cold currents in the oceans that connect habitats. And it has dramatic increases in pressure as you go deeper, as you can see by this old diving suit that was used to protect divers. As you go deeper, there's only so far we can go or the pressure becomes too great for us. And we have designed submarines and other vessels to withstand those great pressures. It can be divided into 4 distinct zones. The photic zone is the ocean zone where photosynthesis can occur, and this is where the most life is because that's where there are nutrients in food. This is where plankton is making food by photosynthesis that other things can eat. There's the intertidal zone. This is a marine environment between the land and sea where the tide goes in and out. And so this beach area would be the intertidal zone, and there are a lot of organisms that live there, and they have to be able to live both underwater at times and where it is dry as well. And so God created creatures that can withstand those 2 things. There's the neritic zone. This is the first ocean zone away from the shoreline. This is where a lot of the life is. This is where we go fishing and all of that. So there's a great deal of diverse life in this area. And then there's the oceanic zone. This is the zone that extends from the edge of the continental shelf and covers the entire open ocean. This is an area where there are few nutrients, where there is less life, but there are some migratory animals that will travel through here. But life is pretty spread out and far between, and this is probably the area that we know the least about because the ocean can be on average is about 4 kilometers deep, but it can get to 11 kilometers deep. And so the ocean is a very underexplored area. We don't know a lot about it in this zone. 3 types of organisms in the ocean are plankton, which are microscopic organisms that live near the surface of the water in the photic zone. And like I said, they are crucial in the food chain. They provide oxygen and they provide food. Nekton are the free-swimming animals such as sharks and whales and sea turtles. And benthos are the organisms that live on or in the ocean floor. Examples are lichens, anemones, starfish, and kelp. Some of these things can move, like the starfish. Other are very stationary. So our objectives today were to summarize the basic characteristics of the ocean biome, identify and describe 4 ocean zones, and describe the 3 groups of ocean organisms. So don't forget your 5 questions in your margin and to keep watching this video to answer the questions at the end.